Welcome back to Shift. I'm your host, Blake Mallen, and this week, hey, it's one of our Shift summaries. This is where we get our time together, you and I, and we get a chance to pause for a minute and reflect back on our amazing, inspiring, iconic guest episodes that Direct Selling News and this podcast is giving all of us a all-access pass, a front row seat, a behind the velvet rope, a fly on the wall, an access that normally we just don't get to the movers, the shakers, the performers, the achievers across this entire channel. We've had so many amazing guests sharing their journey, sharing their shifts, helping us collapse time on the way to achieving our freedom, our fulfillment, our goals in our direct selling business. And last week's episode did not disappoint. We had absolute industry icon. And I don't use that word lightly. He is an industry icon, Jordan Adler, right here with us on the show, breaking it down, his story from rock bottom to what he calls beach money. Makes me smile even saying that. His 27-year journey to the lifestyle that he lives today. And I love how he just shared where it all began. Such an incredible transformation, living in a garage, $36,000 in credit card debt, to fast forward now becoming one of the top direct selling entrepreneurs in the world. And so many million-dollar moments, so many shifts, so many nuggets that he shared in our time together, really breaking down his journey, the defining moments, what it takes to persevere, the importance of fundamentals. I love how Jordan constantly kept bringing us back to the fundamental practices that are the foundation of success in this business. How he's adapted over decades to rapid change and reimagination and reinvention, and the difference between change and radical transformation. So many practical skills on communication, the power of branding, the importance of building real relationships, the glue, the community, the real connection stuff, learning from influencers and adapting, trust, communication skills, systematic formulas, the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s that we can instantly understand and apply to go after the life that we want, and the belief and the mindset underneath all of it. So many amazing insights. So if you missed the episode, go back and listen to Jordan and my conversation last week, or re-listen to it. You're always going to get something new on the journey that you're on. But in our time together today, it is a shift summary. And I just want to highlight a couple of the most significant shifts, 3 to be specific, that I got from our time together with Jordan last week. Starting with shift number 1. You can't have a conversation with Jordan, or really any industry icon that's achieved a level of success and status where he's at, without having some conversation around dreams. Dreams. And I love how Jordan gave us the shift of how, rather than shrinking your dreams to fit your current reality, how instead we got to focus on expanding our commitment to make those dreams our reality. And dreaming is at the foundation of every entrepreneurial journey. And all of us can relate to this. You know, we remember back when we were young, and it was almost like our imagination was limitless. We could dream with clarity. There was no inhibition. You know, I love the season of life I'm in right now in my household. My son, Grayson, is 9. My daughter, Sadie, 6. And I love hearing their stories and their imagination and their dreams, because there really are no limits. There is no box. And we all started in that place. But for most people, as time goes on, as we add more years to our age, we start to shrink that box that we allow ourselves to dream within. We start to adapt what we believe is possible for ourselves based on the limitations put around us by so many. We shrink our dreams to fit our perception of our current reality. And we need to make that shift. The dreams need to stay the constant, the anything is possible, right, for you attitude needs to be the bright, shining light. And I love how Jordan broke down simple, practical actions. Matter of fact, he gave us a 4-step formula to going after your dreams. Simple 4 steps we can all learn from and apply today. So write these down if you didn't get these last week. Here's a reminder. Number 1 starts with identifying your dream. The first step is to clearly define what it is you want, and then write that dream down. Make it visual in a way that fits your lifestyle. And that can be that old school dream board, vision board, magazine clippings on the wall. That can be the screensaver on your phone or on your computer or on your laptop. That can be that Apple TV slideshow when the TV isn't playing in the house. That can be the screensaver. Keep it in front of you. But it starts with identifying what that dream is. You can't hit a target if there's no target. You can't navigate the right direction if there's no destination. You got to identify the dream. Number 2, schedule the first step. Schedule the next step. Like actually take out a calendar and plan an actionable step that you can take that's going to move you toward that dream. Even if it feels daunting and too far away, what's a step in that direction? Like schedule it now. Like we pause. What's a step? Put it in a calendar. A step forward. Maybe you feel so inspired, you schedule your second step or your third step. There's always a next step. You see, going after a dream starts with having clarity on the direction where we're going and just getting good at taking the next step. If the destination is in the nav, focus on, is it a right here? Is it a left here? Are we stopping here? What is the next step? And keep moving forward. Number 3, once you have a dream and once you're focused on the next step, we got to trust the process. Let go. Trust. Believe. Have a little faith. If others have succeeded before you, you got to trust that it's possible for you to succeed too. And you can expand on that trust by surrounding yourself with people around you that also reinforce that belief, that are positive influences, the role models, the peer group, the proximity of people that are going after their dreams as well. And they know if they can do it, you can do it. We all need that community. Find it. And when you find it, don't let it go. Have gratitude for it. And number 4, see the job through, meaning you commit to not quitting until your dream is realized. It's that persistency stuff, that consistency stuff, that dedication stuff, that keep going stuff, that fortitude, resilience stuff to keep taking those next steps and trusting the process until you get to that destination, until that dream board becomes a reality. So there's 4 steps, 4 simple, practical steps, a formula, a system that Jordan gave to all of us that I know you can apply to move you toward your dreams today. So let's make the shift. So the second shift I got from our time with Jordan really comes down to valuing and prioritizing consistency over immediacy. You see, this instant gratification, this on-demand lifestyle is pulling us further and further away from really what it takes to achieve anything in any direction where consistency is really the king. You see, consistent effort is critical for success in any direction. And it's the truth here with your direct selling business. It's going to take doing the right things consistently long enough to get the compounded result through the adversity, through the rejection, through the challenge, through the stumble, through the mistake, through all of the stuff and all of the seasons we're going to have to go through, maintaining a consistent movement forward. I love how Jordan broke down the math of consistency. And he was so just real and raw and transparent. I just love that he knew his numbers because it's so real of an example that we can apply to what we're all doing here. And he shared how he's personally in his career over around 18 years has, signed up around 600 distributors or personal enrollments within his community. That's a lot. 600 over around 18 years, averaging around 3 a month. That's 3 new people a month. right? 3 new a month. Well, maybe that's not a ton. Maybe you've had better months, right? Maybe you haven't. Maybe that's a low number for someone's first month in your world. Maybe it's not, but 3 a month on average over the time period, leading up to 600 over time. And then he broke it down on how he does that in a system. He said he's been in a presentation, really averaging, one time a day over the course of his career, averaging around 6,000 presentations. 6,000 people he's shown a presentation of his company, his opportunity, his product, his service since he got started. And by doing it long enough, consistently long enough, he realized there's kind of a ratio where about 1 out of 9 people that go through a presentation ends up enrolling. So now he starts to understand the power of consistency. And I love how he took it even a step further. That out of the 600 or so he's enrolled, he was really direct, where about 7 of them are the overwhelming majority of his business and success today. Like over 90%. And this highlights the significance of, finding the right individuals, but it also highlights the power of the math, of the consistent effort on how doing a presentation a day, 6,000 presentations will develop a ratio, led to about 600 signups, led to about 7 that changed his life and his legacy. And how it takes that long-term commitment, that consistency over time, that pushing aside of the immediate gratification need that exists today. And it's about committing to the consistent thing and having faith that over time, it'll lead to the compounded result. So how do we apply this practically? What are things that we can do once we really make that principle our own? Well, number 1, let's just set a daily goal of presentations. What's your goal? How many new conversations are leading to new presentations where you're effectively informing, educating, showing somebody what you're so excited and passionate about, your presentation, whether that presentation's on a Zoom or a one-on-one or a Starbucks or a Panera or in a small room or in a big room or in person or online. It's about getting people in front of the information to make an educated decision. But what's your daily goal? How many people every day? And number 2, just maintaining that consistency. Maybe you track your progress. Maybe you create a little accountability tracker where here's your goal and check a box every day that you accomplish that goal. Build the habit, build the routine. Maybe wrap a support accountability community around you, checking in to make sure you're holding yourself accountable. Set a daily presentation goal, track your progress, find your ratio. If you do something consistently, a ratio will always appear. Jordan found out that, 1 out of 9 in his presentations was going to sign up. And about 7 out of the 600 are going to be the mega superstars that drive the growth. You're going to have your ratio, but you're only going to find your ratio if you do the consistent activity day in and day out. So that's why we got to make the shift to prioritize consistency over this immediacy. Find your ratios. You can do it. Make the shift. And the last shift I want to highlight from our time with Jordan is really this commitment to not quit on a bad day and a willingness to adopt a new perspective along the way. I mean, think about how simple that is, but how fundamental and powerful that can be if you made the decision right now that you're not going to quit on a bad day. And on the journey, you're going to adapt and adopt the perspectives you need along the way. Jordan's a great storyteller. He shared so many stories with us. I love the hummingbird story or analogy he shared so vividly of the hummingbird that finds itself trapped inside a living room, repeatedly trying to escape through a closed window. How many of us have been in an environment where we watch birds run into a closed window, and we can totally picture this hummingbird continuing to bounce off this window, trying to get out. He can see his dream, freedom. He can see outside right in front, but just continues to charge against the window, not accomplishing what it wants. Pursuing the light through the window really represents a kind of common tendency for all of us, seeing and pursuing our light, our dream, but constantly running into this imaginary thing, this block in front of us. And I love how Jordan's story really emphasizes that true transformation occurs when we shift our focus. The hummingbird could easily find freedom by just shifting its perspective and flying out an open door or an open window instead of constantly banging its head against a closed window. But how often do we do that same thing? We laugh at the hummingbird, but we do it in our life. We need to be open to new perspectives, right? We can see that vision, have faith that it's there, that dream, but be willing to shift a perspective and say, if this isn't working, it's not about giving up on that light and that freedom, that dream. It's about finding another way and consistently be willing to shift perspective until we find the way through. So a couple key points on not quitting that we can adopt. And I think it starts with just that decision, a decision not to quit on a bad day. And that's a decision. It's an agreement you can make with yourself right now. Make the agreement that you will not quit on a bad day. You will be here seeing it through, the good days and the bad, the highs, the lows, all the seasons that we all go through in business and life. And you're going to make a commitment to endure, to not quit. It all starts there, focused on the future, dream in your mind, and just knowing, a confidence that's going to come from just knowing that nothing's going to knock you out or off of that path. And then we can learn along the way. We can learn from the good things and the wins, and we can learn from the adversity, viewing setbacks not as reasons to quit. You already made the decision. So if it's not a decision of if you're going to quit, now we can put our energy into what can we learn? Because you know you're going to take that next step. Because this belief system, these agreements with ourselves, this is what builds real resilience. This is the resilience that Jordan shared of why he was able to go long periods of time before having success, but stayed in the game long enough in order for him to grow, evolve, and allow this to work. And it can work for you, just like it has worked for Jordan and worked for all the guests you're hearing on this show. So let's make the shift. So there's your challenges. So many good nuggets from our conversation with Jordan, but there's a couple to highlight and focus on. Don't shrink your dreams to fit what you think your reality is today. No, let's raise and elevate our effort and our commitment to move toward those dreams. Follow the dream formula that we recapped here today to start moving in that direction. Let's make the shift from this immediacy, this instant gratification, to a focus on the consistency, a I refuse to quit attitude, so we can start to really grab the wisdom along the way. And lastly, once we've made that decision that we're just never going to quit, being willing to adapt new perspectives, to find that open door, to pursue that freedom that we're looking for. Make the shift. You guys can do it. This is you. You're here. You are making the decision. You're investing the time. You're collapsing your window on the way to accomplishing what you want. And I know those shifts can make a difference on your journey, in your business, with your community, in your life. And remember, that's what we're here to help you do. Keep showing up. Keep listening to the greats. Keep applying what we're giving to you, and you will move toward that life you deserve. That dream board will become a reality. If you missed any past episodes, you know where to find them, shiftpodcast.com. We've had some amazing ones, so go back and maybe catch up if you missed any of our guests, as well as the summaries of how we're applying what they're giving us to our business every single day. You can find us in all the places, whether you want to listen on Spotify or Apple or Audible, or catch the videos of our conversations right on YouTube. Love seeing the traction there, and I love hearing the impact we're making. Feel free to drop by social, say hello, introduce yourself, tell me what you're applying to make your life better. Ratings and reviews help get these in front of even more people. So if you're on the platforms, drop us a rating, drop us a review. And the most important thing is just keep remembering, a shift is a gift. We're giving gifts to you to help you make the shifts you need to go and unlock your next level. And you can also be the gift by sharing a shift with those alongside you in this direct selling journey. So share the show. We appreciate it. And you never know just what moment, what link, what conversation, what nugget, what shift can dramatically change the trajectory of someone's business and someone's life. And that's why we show up here. That's why we give you the energy we give. And that's what I love about what we do, is every new conversation is an opportunity to be one of those moments. Thanks for our time today. Can't wait to introduce you to our next guest on Monday. Absolute industry rock stars sharing their journey, breaking down the shifts, what's working today to help you continue to elevate. So make sure you're following the show. Turn on the notifications. Check back on Monday. And until then, let's make the shift.